Welcome to this video. This is KWOOWK. My name is Kevin and I make videos about food for you to watch while eating food. And I'm a huge fan of meals that I can reach for when I don't want to make a decision. I just want something reliable, healthy, filling, easy to make, and really delicious. You know, I found that the most resistance I have with cooking is not knowing what to make, and then that's a new task. But if you already know what to make and you have most of the things there, you're gonna make it. Plus, this is the perfect thing to make on a weekday because it makes leftovers. It's also really good for like a dinner party situation where you have people over. Case in point, yesterday I made this exact recipe when we had some friends over and they loved it. But of course they can't say they don't like it because I can't really imagine going to a friend's place and they make me dinner and I say that it sucks. And of course this type of curry broadly comes from the Indian subcontinent, and I'm sure there aren't enough Western people making Indian recipes and making a mess of them. That being said, let's get into it. Our first step in our chickpea curry is to build out some flavor. And you'll see that in virtually any curry or any like flavorful stew from around the world. You're gonna start with some fat and some aromatics and spices to create a rich flavor foundation. For the fat, I'm choosing to use ghee, which is clarified butter. You can use anything you'd like. I just really like the flavor and especially the smell of ghee. Now for the boring chopping part, I'm using 1 onion. I'm slicing off the butt, cut it in half, peel off the first 1 or 2 papery layers. And for a fine dice, you want to make some vertical cuts with the knife tip pointing at the root, followed by a couple horizontal cuts across, and then slice to create these small pieces. I don't know why I explained this like it's a surgical procedure. I just realized I never got into how I actually do this. I don't know, maybe it's nice to explain. I'm also using some ginger for a fresh, strong aromatic punch. I feel like I say that in every video. I'm gently peeling the ginger with a spoon to expose its flesh. Ugh. I don't want a lot of ginger, just a little whisper of ginger, a little idea, a dream of a ginger root. And also of course garlic. The best thing to do with garlic is to take out that woody root, then give it a little smack, and the peel should come right off. You can go ahead and roughly chop that, and I would say that's enough chopping for the day. It's enough to make us feel like we achieved something, but not too much that it's annoying. Now the only thing left to prep is our chickpeas. I don't know why I keep saying our, it's really my chickpeas. You can have your own chickpeas. I'd be happy if you had your own chickpeas, but strictly speaking, these chickpeas right here specifically are my chickpeas, and I drain them and rinse them in cold water. Now to cook this thing, the onion, ginger, and garlic go into my beautiful red Dutch oven in that ghee I was talking about, and I'm so happy I live in the Netherlands where they hand these out for free. A little salt at this point is also good. It's good to add salt at multiple stages of the cooking process for a full depth of flavor, or so they say. Once they get fragrant and almost a little bit golden, we're gonna add our spices. You can do whatever you want here, but with intention. I like a lot of warm spices in my curry, like cumin, coriander, turmeric, turmeric. I would also add some sort of smoky red pepper stuff, or like a mix of things you may have in your pantry. So let me make this clear, don't just throw random stuff in there. You want to think about it, do it with intention, smell it, but feel free to experiment. I'm also squeezing a good amount of tomato paste and adding a touch more fat to cook it. We always want to cook the tomato paste. It really transforms the taste, brings out that amazing umami. Umami. And this part is where you're in charge of cooking this paste. Just take care so it doesn't burn. Use your senses. The heat is too high, turn it a little low. If it looks a little dry, maybe add more fat, add more water to create some steam, some moisture in there. You're the boss of your paste, and have some fun with it. Don't be scared. Now throw in your chickpeas and give them a good flavor bath. And I remember telling you that there were no more things to prep, and I lied to you because there's an optional but a highly recommended step here of adding some greens. And I specifically like stuff like kale at this point. People add spinach, but I find that just turns into mush. I like kale because it preserves that crunchiness. And feel free to judge me for my bagged kale. Honestly, I deserve judgment. I should have overpaid because of laziness and use some fuck-ass plastic too. I am cooking the kale down because I want it to be already prepared and flavored once it goes into the pot of curry. It's very simple with just some olive oil, some salt, and some water to create some steam to make everything soft. And once I feel like it's cooked, and I don't just feel it, I grab one and taste it. I added some red wine vinegar, some lemon lemon would also be nice, just to complete the holy quaternity of salt, fat, acid, heat. And the reason I knew that word is because I just looked up how to say Trinity but in 4. Our cooked kale goes into our chickpeas, and I did do the kale step before just to have everything prepared. It's way easier this way. And now for some much needed creamy richness. That's another thing I say all the time. Canned coconut milk, and I'm talking the full fat one, the one that has a little cap of the solidified things on top. I added 2 small cans of that, and I also added some water. But honestly, if I'm being honest, I think I added a little too much water. So add less water, or add water if it looks like it's not enough. But mine was a little too liquidy, but still very good, and I ate the mix out of it. Now with everything in there, we just want to let this whole thing simmer for about 15 minutes, or just enough time for you to go clean, put all the dishes away. Yeah, fun times. If you want, you can also make some rice, which is what I did. A rice cooker does the job perfectly because it's literally its job according to the name of the thing. Added some adobo seasoning just to spice up my rice because I was feeling naughty today. And there you have it. Once you feel like it's done, it's done. You can go ahead and add some cilantro leaves, a little squeeze of lime if you want it a little more acidic, as I do. Scoop it over your rice, or eat it with a flatbread, or just eat it straight, whatever you want. And you should be proud of yourself. You did an amazing thing. You should share it with a friend, with a loved one, and celebrate, because chickpeas are healthy, both for your human health and for the health of our lovely environment. If you want the full recipe, as usual, patreon.com/KWOOWK is the place where you can also support me. A little at a time goes a long way. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in who knows? I don't know. In a bit. They call me Lightning McQueen, the way I make chickpea in his pants, because of well, he doesn't have pants. Wait. Do the cars in Cars not have? Are they naked? I'm guessing the cars in Cars, their like private parts are under. Like you would never see that. Like, you know that scene where you know what, that scene where Doc Hudson is getting like his oil checked or some shit. My theory, just so this is a post episode. My post episode theory is that the private parts of the cars in Cars are under the cars. And it's never exposed unless something goes wrong. That's my theory. Okay, that's enough for today.